Hey friends, welcome back and I hope you're all doing wonderful today. It's time for more Reddit stories about entitled people, Karens, and everything in between. So we're getting right into it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet and let's begin. Girl wants to leave the scene of an accident because of her politics. I was on a date with this girl who'd been great so far. It was our third time out. We were going to a concert. I was driving. It was going really well and we were ahead of schedule when we witnessed a car accident. Car A was stopped at a green. No hazards or turn signal or anything oncoming towards them. Just sitting there. A green to red to green cycle occurs, so it's a fresh green. The car directly behind Car A, Car B, gives a polite honk to Car A. Nothing happens. The light turns red again. On the next green, Car B drives around Car A. Just as Car B goes to drive around, Car A turns, no signal, and smashes into Car B. Car B comes to a stop. Car A drives off. I immediately got out and went to check on Car B's driver. His car was banged up pretty good, but thank God he was fine. Other good Samaritans had stopped by this point and were helping to attend to Car B and making sure nobody ran into him while he was stopped, so I went back to move my car somewhere safe. First though, I said to the girl I was driving with, "I guess we better call 911 and let the police know about all this." And she said, appalled, "Don't do that. You said he's fine, let's just go." I couldn't believe she was so fixated on us making the concert that she was suggesting we just skip out on the scene of an accident. I figured I'd get my car off the road then assess the situation. There was too much going on at once. I hoped I must be misunderstanding her. I found a suitable place to pull off, and when I'd come back, police had already arrived. I was hanging around waiting to talk to them. One told me they'd want to take my statement in a bit, but I'd already figured as much. I was overhearing them talking to Car B's driver and they asked if he had a dash cam or anything like that. That's when I remembered, I have a dash cam. I hadn't thought of it because I wasn't driving my usual car. My brother let me borrow his for the date. My driving us both to the concert was last minute when she suggested we both go together to save on parking. I offered to do it, trying to be a gentleman, but my car is a pigsty and I didn't have time to properly clean it. I wanted to make a decent first impression, so my brother's car was the backup. I went to the car to pop the camera off its holder. I wasn't sure how to extract the video's data, but figured they'd know. The girl I was with asked me what I was doing, and pretty excited about the whole thing, I explained I'd probably captured the incident with the dash cam, so I was going to bring it over to the police. She grabbed my wrist, like with force, gripped my wrist is more like it, and yanked me back into the front seat. I thought maybe another car was coming or something. She gave me a heart attack. "You can't do that," she gasped, like I'd told her I was going to ram the guy a second time for some insurance money of my own. "Let's just go," she insisted. I couldn't believe it. That was a total turnoff for me. One of the things that had most attracted me to the girl in the first place was her compassion for others, service-oriented profession, and seemingly deep capacity for empathy. This was out of left field. I told her we had to stay around until the crash had been resolved, since we were witnesses. The police would want to talk to me, probably her too. She emphasized again, "You can't do that." "What? Do what?" I asked, trying to figure out what I was missing. "You can't talk to the police," she said like it was cancerous. Still confused, I thought she meant I shouldn't insert myself into an active crime scene or whatever. So I explained the police had already let me know while I was over there that they definitely want my statement. She goes, "You, a white male, are just going to cooperate with police? Of course. First of all, she's white. Second of all, the driver of Car B was black." I gave up on trying to understand and told her, "I think I'm probably missing something here." And she replied, "Yeah, about 3 centuries of systemic marginalization and oppression." I felt like I was reading a hoax article in the New York Post. I told her the obvious, that the impacted driver was black and probably wanted the incriminating dashcam footage of the person who hit his car. She has the nerve to go, "He doesn't know what he wants. He's probably too scared. You have to help him." I was having trouble computing what she'd said, and I was still pretty excited that I had dashcam footage. So I told her the police had already let me know I had to give a statement, so I was pretty sure leaving at that point would be illegal, but that I'd be right back. I mean, she couldn't get mad at me for following the law, right? Wrong. When I got back, she was gone. Haven't heard from her since, even after I reached out to be sure she made it home okay. Probably for the best we didn't make it any further. Yeah, sounds like you dodged a bullet there, OP. I mean, she was trying to view this whole situation through whatever lens she wanted to view it through, and turn it into something that completely wasn't even the case. I mean, it's pretty clear that race had nothing to do with this situation at all. Like she was trying to protect this guy from the police, when obviously the police were trying to help him. And so was OP by providing proof that he was not at fault, and she was trying to put a stop to that as if she was helping this guy out. I have no idea what might have been going on in that girl's head. Karen decides my age for driving. This happened today, and honestly, I'm laughing my ass off. I'm in my early 20s now. I live by myself with my dog and cat and a few other animals. I have a baby face, and doesn't help that I'm short, like under 5 feet short. However, I work, have a great little family. I just got an updated driver's license, and I can reach the pedals. My boyfriend's car has been making weird noises, so he took it to the mechanic yesterday. He forgot his house keys and the place was already closed. Me being the helpful girlfriend I am, I told my boyfriend to call the mechanic tomorrow while he was at work, and I'll go pick up the keys. Well, at the mechanic, a lady walks in. This is our Karen. She looks at me up and down. I should properly mention that I was wearing leggings, black Converse, a pink shirt that says trademark with a flower on it, and a black sweater. So this lady comes in. I'm just waiting patiently. The mechanic hands me my boyfriend's house keys. I say thank you, and I'm about to leave. The lady there says, "You shouldn't be driving." I looked at her confused. I thought she meant about it raining today, but I was so wrong. Sorry? You're too young to drive, Karen says again. I'm old enough to drive. I try to leave. Karen then tries to snatch my boyfriend's keys. I move them out of her reach. Guess she assumed they were my car keys. You are too young to drive. Where are your parents? None of your business. I try to leave again. Karen holds the door closed. The mechanic comes in and a lady from another office comes out to see what's going on. You are too young to drive. I should know. I had kids around your age. Well, I have a card that says otherwise. I need to go now. I try to leave again. Karen is holding the door shut. At this point, this is what Karen says. Someone call the police. She obviously stole her parents' car. What the F? It's my car. I'm just here to pick something up for my boyfriend. Leave me alone already. Karen looks at the other lady, and the mechanic looks at Karen like she's crazy. Ma'am, she's not bothering you, and she looks old enough to drive, the mechanic says. No, she's not. I'm a mother, and I know how old she is. Karen is yelling at this point. We saw her drive her car in the parking lot. She's old enough to drive, the nice lady from the office said. No, she's not. Her parents are obviously somewhere. Karen keeps insisting I'm too young to drive. Do you know her age? The nice lady asked. Before I can answer, she's obviously 12, Karen insisted. Add 8 years to that. I'd like to leave sometime today. I was interrupted. Stop lying, Karen yelled. I'm leaving now, so thank you and bye. My thank you was for the nice lady and the mechanic. You are too young to drive. Karen is just yelling and threatening to call the cops. I push the door open while Karen wasn't paying attention and just leave. Karen is yelling about how she could have fell and I'm just a brat. The mechanic and the nice lady tell Karen to leave. I've dealt with people saying, "Are you lost? How old are you? Where are your parents?" But I never thought I would have to deal with the lady claiming to know my age. Update. Now this is what the mechanic told me, so I don't know word for word. Turns out Karen did call the cops. The mechanic called me to let me know what Karen did. The cops came apparently. Karen started yelling at them about how an underage girl stole her parents' car. The cops looked at the mechanic, and the mechanic just nodded his head. The cops gave Karen a warning for a false report, or something along those lines. I honestly didn't believe the mechanic at first, but he assured me she was claiming I stole my parents' car and was going crazy on the road. The mechanic told me that Karen wasn't welcomed back. My neighbor wants to control what I wear in my house. So Wednesday, I, 16 female, was sick. I had a fever and just felt really bad, so I stayed home from school and was spending most of the day lying in bed. But around noon, I moved to the living room couch because it was getting really hot in my room and it was cool in the living room. Some context: our living room is filled with large windows on 2 walls. One points to the street in front of the house, and the other to my neighbor's house on the left side of our house. So I went to the couch and I still felt hot, so I took off my shirt at that point. I was only wearing short shorts and my bra. So I was lying down for a few minutes when there was a knock on the door and my mom went to go answer it. The living room is right next to the door, so it wasn't hard to hear the conversation. So my mom opened the door and the neighbor, who we'll call Karen, was there and said, "Hi, Susan." My mom, if you need clarification. "How are you doing? I came over to tell you to tell your daughter to cover up." My mom then reasonably said, "Excuse me?" To which Karen replied, "Yes, it's kind of weird what she's doing, exposing herself like that." My mom, now a bit less patient, said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you could tell me what to do with my kids in my house." Karen then replied, "Oh no, that's not what I'm trying to do. It's just that my husband's office is right across your windows, and it's hard for him to concentrate on work when there's a naked teen on the other side of his window." My mom, just about as dumbfounded as I was at this point, told Karen, "Okay, 3 things. First, my daughter's not naked. And even if she was, it wouldn't matter because she lives here, and she can wear whatever she wants. Second, what is your husband, a 45-year-old man, doing looking at my 16-year-old daughter in her underwear? And third, get off my property because we're done here." And with that, my mom slammed the door in Karen's face. My mom saw the husband later that day when he was taking out the trash. She told him to stop looking at me through the windows. He was confused, and my mom explained what happened, and he said, "I didn't work from home today." He then apologized for his wife and went inside. We haven't heard from them since then, and on Thursday, my mom bought curtains for the living room windows. So yeah, that was my encounter with our neighbors. That's going to be all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed, and also subscribe to the channel for more if you haven't already. So have an awesome day, take care, and I'll see you next time.